Good morning. This is Teacher Leland. We're about to continue with our fractions, multi-step equations involving fractions. And these are the numbers 13, 14, 15, and 16 of the same problem set we used for the multi-step equations with integers. So this time we'll be using equations with fractions. So to start with, we'll see the problem in the other screen. Okay, let me get that first. Okay, here's number 13. Here's number 13. R plus 1/2 plus 7/3R equals 1/2. And we're going to solve this in a paper. So I'm going to use paper for this one. Okay. All right, so the problem is that'll be R plus 1/2 plus 7/3R equals 1/2. And then I'm going to show you my writings over this other side. Okay, that R plus 1/2 plus 7/3R equals 1/2. Now, we will solve this using this paper. And here's number 13. Okay, and you see the problem involves fraction. You see the fractions 1/2, 7/3, and 1/2. Now, the concept of fractions, if we use fractions, then we will need to make use of LCD. This is the least common denominator, and our denominators in our fractions are only 2 and 3, and these are both prime numbers, and the LCD for this is, of course, 6. And how did we get 6? It's just the product of 2 and 3. It's because these two numbers are prime numbers. Now, to solve this, we will use the 6 as a multiplier. So in our solution, we will write this R plus 1/2 plus 7/3R equals 1/2. We're going to multiply both sides by the number 6. You have to multiply both sides by the number 6. So we will do it this way and put the number 6 here. That means 6 times the quantity R plus 1/2 plus 7/3R is equal to 1/2 times 6. There. Okay, now using the distributive property, you will notice this number 6 will be multiplied by R. This will also be multiplied by the 1/2. This will also be multiplied by the 7/3. And this number 6 will be multiplied by the 1/2. So this will be 6 times R. This will be 6 times 1/2. Now, multiplying it by fraction, the number 6, which is an integer, will be multiplied by 1. And this will become 6/2. It's like that. And then this 6 times 7/3R, this will be 6 times 7/3 times R. And then we proceed to the right side of the equation. This 6 times 1/2 will be 6 times 1/2. So that will be 6 times 1, that's 6/2. It's like this. And then we will be doing simplifications here. Now, the terms to be simplified are those with fractions. So you see this 6R will remain 6R. And this 6/2 means 6 divided by 2, which is just number 3. And this 6 times 7/3 is the same as 6 divided by 3, which is 2, times the 7R. It's like that. And the right side is 6/2, which is just 3. So you see, we canceled out 6 and 3, giving us 2. and then the 2 will be multiplied by 7 later. So further simplification, we will just rewrite it. 6r plus 3 plus 14r equals 3. Now we're down to integers, which is comparable to the numbers 1 to 12 problems. So this will just be combining like terms. We have 6r plus 14r, that gives us 20r. And we still have the plus 3 now equal to 3. Okay. Okay, to continue, we're going to isolate the term with the r by way of subtraction property. So we're going to use subtraction property here. To make this 3 0, we subtract 3 from both sides. So we have to write again, 20r plus 3 minus 3 equals 3 minus the same number 3. That's subtraction property. If you subtract some amount from one side of the equation, you also do that in the other side. Okay. So this gives us simply 20r plus 0 now is equal to 0 also on the other side. And this is simplified to 20r equal to 0. Now, if we have something like a number multiplied by the variable, we make use of the number, which becomes the divisor. So to continue, we're going to, let me adjust the paper. All right, this will now be 20r equals 0. So we're going to divide this by the 20. Both sides will be divided by the 20. And we have 20 divided by 20, that's 1. 1 times r is the number, it's the variable r, which now gives us 0 over 20. 0 divided by a number other than 0 is 0. So the answer here must be 0. That should be our answer. Now we're going to verify our answer using the other side. So we'll just go back to the problem set and see the answer over here. Okay, so is it 0? Yes. All right, so that goes to our number 13. Now to continue, we will have the next number, which is 14. Okay, so this is number 14, and we're going to solve this in the paper again. So let me just write the problem. So this is number 14. So this is 3 halves m plus m equals 10. Rather simple equation, linear equation with a fraction. So let's go back to our paper. Okay, we're back here. I already wrote the problem there. 3 halves m plus m is equal to 10. Obviously, we have a fraction here, just one fraction, but we are certain about the denominator 2. So for our solution, we will use 2 as our multiplier. Remember, the denominator of the fractions will be used as multipliers to make the equation or to transform the equation with the integer coefficients of the variables. Now, this is not very complicated because we only have one number as denominator. So surely our multiplier is 2. So for our solution, we have 3 halves m plus m equals 10. Now, just like what we did in number 13, we make use of the least common denominator, which is, this time it's number 2. We use it as multiplier. So from this original equation, we multiply the entire left side and the entire right side by the same number 2. There. And then we apply distributive property, okay, so that we will have to multiply this by this term, and also the same monomial be multiplied by the other term. So this will proceed like 2 times 3 halves m, you can see it this way, plus 2 times the m, like that. That will be the left side. So that will be the left side. Now the right side, this will just become 2 times 10, which is 20. There. And so you can see by simplification, this number 2 divides by the number 2. And we will be left with 3m plus 2m equals 20. There. And so we're going to continue with simplification, combining like terms. This will be 3m plus 2m is simply 5m equals 20. And at this point, we don't have any fractions anymore. And we will just apply division property here. And our divisor, of course, always remember, it's the coefficient of the variable, so the number 5. So this will continue 5m equals 20, and we put the division symbol to both sides of the equation, then divided by the number 5. And we will have 5 cancels out with 5. We have now just m, which gives us 20 over 5, which is 4. So this is the answer. M equals 4. That should be for number 14. So we're going to check and verify our answer using the problem set. And we shall see the answer over here. Is it number 4? Yes, it is. So that should be the correct answer for number 14. Now let's proceed to number 15. Remember the answer, it's 4, okay? And it's what we had in the solution. Okay, so we continue with number 15. This is now our number 15. So we will be solving number 15 again. Number 15 again using the paper. So we will have to write it down first. So this is number 15, and the problem is negative 10 equals negative 7 over 2x minus 3 over 2x. So this has fractions. All right, let me show you the paper. It should be on the other screen. Okay, here. So I wrote it here. That's number 15. And this is negative 10 equals negative 7 over 2x minus 3 over 2x. So again, we only have one denominator. For each of the fractions, we have number 2. So we shall use the number 2 only as multiplier and simplify it. All right, so let me continue. Solution. And we write the problem. Negative 10 equals negative 7 over 2x minus 3 over 2x. Now, we can also simplify this in another way. Since our LCD or least common denominator is 2, we can simply combine the fractions at once, okay? So we have negative 7 over 2 minus 3 over 2. That should give us negative 10 over 2, which will not require us to do multiplication, okay? All right, so what I mean to say is we have negative 10 and you have negative 7, negative 3 over 2, and then you can factor out the x, okay, like this. And then since 7 is negative and 3 is negative, that will add up to a negative 10. So this will be simplified to negative 10 over 2. And the x, of course. And the left side is negative 10. Yeah. Okay, so we can further simplify by simplifying 10 over 2 negative, that is just negative 5. So the right side is negative 5x, and the left side is negative 10. And then we're down to this simpler version of the equation, and we will just apply division property here by using negative 5 as divisor. So we write it once more, and we put the division symbol, and we use the number coefficient to the variable, and that is -5 as divisor. There. Don't forget the negative sign. There. And so -5 divided by -5, that's a positive 1, times x will simply give x. And then -10 by -5, that's a positive 2. And again, we don't write our answer presentation this way. It should always be the other way around. So this should be written x equals 2. There. And this is our answer for this number 15. Okay, so that's x equals 2. So let us verify. Okay, let's verify our answer. Going back to the problem set. Our answer is 2, remember? Okay. Is it 2? Yes, it is. All right, so we're correct. And we're going to solve the last number 16. Okay, I hope we don't have any questions there. We're now doing number 16, the last number. Is there any more numbers after this? No more. All right. So this is our fourth example, and we should be able to solve this using the paper. All right, here. Paper and pen. All right, so let me write the problem 16, and we have here -2n minus 1/2 n equals -5 over 4. And I will let you see the paper. Okay, so that's the problem. I just wrote it in the paper, and you should be able to check that out. All right, there it is. Okay, -2n minus 1/2 n equals -5 over 4. Now, notice the negative signs there, okay? All the terms have the negative symbol there. So if we want these negatives deleted or erased, we simply multiply each by a -1, and we will not see any confusing negative symbols there. So for our solution, for our first step, okay, we can apply -1 times, all right, the left side, -2n minus 1/2 n equals another -1 times the -5 over 4. Like that. Now imagine if you multiply this -1 inside like that, distributive property, you're going to have negative times negative. That will be positive. So this will simply become 2n positive, and this is 1/2 n positive. And the right side, of course, that's another negative number times a negative number. That should be a positive 5 over 4. There. So we can see now a version of the original equation with no negatives or minus signs. So notice the fractions involved. You have a denominator of 2 in the 1/2 n and a denominator of 4 at the right side. So our LCD will have to be 4, since 2 is a factor of 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And so 4 can be divided by 2 with a 0 remainder. So we can use the larger number 4 as our multiplier. So just like before, we're going to use our LCD 4. And we're going to use this as multiplier for this example 16. So we will just rewrite this again. 2n plus 1/2 n equals 5 over 4. Afterwards, we will now be using our LCD. This is our multiplier. So we multiply this left side by the number 4. We also multiply the right side by the number 4. There. And then we continue by distributive property. This 4 will be multiplied by the 2n. Also, the 4 will be multiplied by the 1/2 n. So this will be 4 times 2n. It will look like this. And then when you multiply this 4 by the 1/2, it will now appear 4 times 1/2 n. So you see, we distributed the 4 there. And the right side, you simply cancel out the 4s. 4 cancels out with the 4, and we will just have 5 there. You can also think of this as 4 times 5, 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5 there. All right, what happens to the left side is now 4 times 2n, which is 8n, plus 4 cancels out by the 2. So that's 4 cancels out by the 2, that is 2. And then 2 times 1. So you have 2n there. You can also think of 4 times 1/2 as 4 times 1, 4, and then 4 divided by 2, which gives us the 2. And the number n remains there. Okay, this is how to multiply an integer by a fraction. And this will now be equal to 5. Okay, let me adjust the paper. And we're now going to have here 8n plus 2n. This is just combining like terms. We're going to have 10n equal to 5. Yeah. And then we divide this equation now. What is our divisor? It's always the number beside the letter. So our divisor is the number 10, okay, not the 5, because we're after getting just the letter n equal to something. So we will have to remove that number 10 there by way of division. So we will just apply division here. Let us rewrite it once more for clarity. Let us rewrite it once more. So this will be 10n equals 5, and we're going to write the division symbol like this, and then our divisor, of course, the number 10, and the number 10 over there. So this 10 divides by the number 10. We have positive 1. Positive 1 times n is simply n. And 5 over 10 is the answer, but this is not in its lowest term. We can simplify this to 1/2. Okay, we can simplify this to 1/2. There. Okay, I'm going to show you why it's 1/2. Why is 5 over 10 1/2? You see, 5 over 10 is equal to something like some numbers here. 5 is 1 times 5. And 10 is 2 times 5. Breaking the numbers to its factors. 5 has factors 1 and 5. It's a prime number. Now 10 is a composite number with factors 1, 5, and 2. Okay, we don't usually write the number 1 anymore. Okay, so 10 is 2 times 5. Now you can see the 5 cancels out with the 5, and we are left with a 1/2. That's why our answer is 1/2 there. Okay, this is our last example. Before we end up our session, we shall see the answer first. So we're going back to the other screen. This will be problem set. Remember, our answer is 1/2. And is it 1/2? Yes, it's a 1/2. So that's it for our discussions. We shall end up here. And this will be it for our discussions for multi-step equations involving fractions. I hope you were able to understand the examples, and you can always run the video so that if you need to restudy or review how it's done, you can always review the video. Okay, for now, bye-bye.